Martin Luther King Jr., A Man with a Dream, by Elise Sweeney. Martin Luther King Jr. was a leader in the struggle for equal rights. He lived from 1929 to 1968. Martin Luther King Jr. lived when there were unfair laws in our country. These laws gave African Americans fewer rights than white people. Dr. King worked to change these laws. Martin's older sister's name was Christine. Martin's brother, Alfred Daniel, was born after him. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. His family called him M.L. Martin liked to ride his bike and play baseball. He also liked to read and sing. The King's house was full of games, stories, and fun. The neighborhood children liked to play there. Page 4. These were some of the unfair laws during Martin Luther King's life. African Americans had to sit at the back of the bus. African American children could not go to the same schools as white children. African Americans could not drink from the same water fountains as white people. At that time, there were unfair laws in the United States. These laws were found mostly in southern states. Under these laws, African Americans could not go to the same places as white people. This was called segregation. Martin didn't understand why the color of his skin mattered to people. Two of Martin's friends were white. Martin used to meet them at their family's store. One day they said they couldn't play with Martin anymore because he was African American. Page 7. Martin talked to his mother about it. She said that some people didn't understand that everyone is equal. She also said that someday things would get better. Page 8. Martin believed segregation was wrong and that all people should be treated the same way. Martin decided he was going to work to end segregation. He told his mother, "I'm going to turn this world upside down." Page 9. Like his father, Martin spoke about standing up for what is right. Martin worked hard in school. He studied religion. His studies helped him find peaceful ways to fight segregation. In 1948, he became a pastor, like his father. Page 10. In 1951, Martin went to Boston University. When he was in Boston, he met his future wife, Coretta Scott. They later moved to Alabama. There, Dr. King worked as a pastor. Page 11. In Montgomery, Alabama, African Americans had to give up their seats on buses to white people. It was the law. In 1955, a woman named Rosa Parks wouldn't give her seat on a bus to a white person. She was taken to jail. After that, African American leaders planned a bus boycott. Many African Americans walked instead of taking the bus. Dr. King led the boycott. For months, most African Americans did not ride the bus in Montgomery. After 1 year, the law was changed. Now, all people had the right to sit anywhere on the bus. Page 13. In a famous speech, Dr. King said, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin." The protest had worked. Dr. King led more peaceful protests. He led peaceful marches. He gave speeches about people living together peacefully. In 1964, Dr. King was given a very important award called the Nobel Peace Prize. Page 14. Dr. King was admired around the world. He was given many awards for his work. Millions of people mourned when he was killed on April 4th, 1968. Page 15. Our country remembers Dr. King and his dream. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a national holiday in January. Today, our country is a better place because of Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King helped change the laws. He taught people about fairness and kindness. Thank you, Dr. King. Page 16. Glossary. Boycott. Noun. A group's refusal to deal with a business or person in order to bring about change. Equal. Adjective. The same as someone or something else. Law. Noun. A rule made by the government that people must follow. Mourned. Verb. Felt or showed sadness after a loss, such as a death. Pastor. Noun. A minister or priest in charge of a church. Protest. Noun. An action taken against something to show disagreement. Segregation. Noun. The separation of people based on race, religion, or another reason. The end.